So this is Encaustic. It's Greek. It means to burn. It's been around for a couple thousand years. It's a very old medium, but it's just seen a resurgence. So what I'm doing is, this is my griddle. It's a pancake griddle, and that serves as my color palette. So I mix all my paints on here. And this is pure encaustic medium. I make it. It's 9 part beeswax to 1 part Damar resin. Those are both natural ingredients. So you can just take your paint, and encaustic paint is just encaustic medium with pigments in it. And I'm just going to mix it right on the griddle. I'm going to add a little medium to it so it goes further. And I'm going to lighten that up. So I'm going to add a little bit of white. This also is encaustic medium with pigments, just white paint. And whenever I'm mixing colors, I always add dark to light, because if I add light to dark, it's going to take a lot to change the dark. But if I add just a tad bit of dark to the light, look at how quickly that changes. And if I add a little bit of blue to this orange, it's gonna dull it a little bit.
And yet it all happened before John Wick ever came along, you know?
And if that got too muddy, then I can just take it and add more pure color to get back into a more saturated spot. That actually is a really good flesh tone if I wanted to paint skin. So, and I've got this piece, so I've glued paper on here, and then I put a fabric bird on here, colored the bird with some of these. They're pastels, just chalk pastels. So now I'm ready to put a layer of encaustic on it. So I like to keep the wood really close to the heat. So if you take the brush far away from the heat for too long, it's going to start to want to turn into a solid again, and it's really hard to work with. So I just keep everything really close. And I'm just going to cover this whole thing in encaustic medium. And it's going to give it, the thing I love about it is it gives it a really like milky, sort of ethereal, almost like a dreamlike quality to it. I'm just going to go all the way around. Now once I get this covered, completely covered with wax, sometimes the fabric takes a lot more to get saturated. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun, because right now it's 2 separate layers, and to make them one layer, you have to fuse it. So when the heat hits it, the paper, the fabric, the pigments will come up into the wax and create one layer. So this is my heat gun. It's a paint gun. You can find it at a paint store. And I'm just going to let the heat fall on it until I see a sheen. If I keep it there too long, it's going to create craters, and I don't want that. All I'm doing is fusing it. I just want them to become one layer. So it doesn't need too much heat. But I don't know if you can see that sheen. You're just looking for the sheen, and then you pass over it. There it is. So I'm going to let that cool off until it doesn't have to be hot, or it doesn't have to be cold. It just needs to be, if I tried to scrape it right now, and what I mean by scraping is I'm going to clean that excess wax off. If I tried to scrape it right now, it would be a hot mess. So I'm going to wait until it cools a little bit. As you can see, normally in my studio, I have several pieces going on at once, because you're waiting for something to dry, or you're waiting for something to cool down. And it's the diamonds, yippee. So I'm just gonna let this sit here until it cools, and then I'll show you the scraping.